Yo, yo, yo! Kiss My Comics right here, right now. We got new comics going on. Your host here, Captain Danny, John Henry, here to tell you about some comics. You ready? I'm really stoked because we just got the new layer. As you will see, we have the big blue, nice couch.
It's very pretty in here.
It's pretty great.
It's true.
So I'm stoked.
Wicked stoked.
John's going to start with his, once again, having more comics than I, is going to start us off because he's going to talk more than me.
Boys get to talk more. Girls do all the work. Just kidding. Wolverine Max continues with number 2. Once again, you should be reading Wolverine Max. All the Max series are always super awesome, slightly R-rated, and they're finally doing Wolverine. Wolverine is still being hunted by the Japanese police for allegedly taking an airliner down, and he has no memory, and he's trying to figure out what's going on, and there's lots of flashbacks to old school Japan.
He knows his name is Logan.
He knows that. Well, he always knows that much. But other than that,
it's very dirty. I don't know if you could see it from this far away, but I'll tell you, this panel, I blushed. I looked over my shoulder even though I was sitting alone.
Logan gets to second base. And there's a lot of flashbacks to feudal Japan when he was a monk / mercenary, and, you know, Sabretooth was all up on his ballsack, like Sabretooth is wont to do. Well, he's got that big boner for Logan. Sabretooth.
Calls him his soulmate in this one.
It's true.
He does.
We're the only two of our kind. We're brothers. Anyways, next, all new XMen, number 2. If you weren't paying attention last time, once again, Cyclops is, you know, kind of a dick, and Beast goes into the past to find the past X-Men back when they were teenagers and convince Cyclops not to commit mutant genocide, and pulls them back into the present, and they're all freaking out. Oh my god, we're in the future, and trying to, you know, save the world, all that stuff. It's very fun, especially for X-Men enthusiasts, because lots of old throwbacks, and it's really fun to see all the characters, you know, screw with the space-time continuum and such. Your turn.
Guess what came out this Wednesday? Pony's Friendship is Magic! We all know I've been waiting for quite some time for this, and it's finally happened. I got the subscription cover, even though it wasn't a subscriber. And it was a fun story. We had, you know, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Apple Bottom, and
Apple Bottom?
I think isn't that a song with the boots, Apple Blossom, and Fluttershy, and of course Twilight, who's not included in this cover. Really fun, kind of like Pod People themed, and it was great. It was everything I expected, and great art, and glittery cover. It was fulfilling for me.
She's been talking about it for a very long time.
Ponies is magic, yo.
My turn again?
Indeed.
Okay, next, Shadow Man number 1. I have never read Shadow Man. I know this is not its first run. I haven't read really much of anything Valiant. But it's cool. I think it's kind of like the next generation. Like the son of Shadow Man is trying to track down his parents and figure out, you know, what his past is and that whole thing. And then suddenly realizes that he is totally the heir to this crazy superhero legacy that he becomes after, you know, demons and such from other dimensions come to destroy everything, including him. And it's pretty cool. Very gruesome so far, and the bad guy's super gnarly. He's like a big morphing meat monster.
Ooh, like Meatwad, Aqua Teen, but evil?
More like bloody, like a bunch of bloody body parts of other people all sucked up into one. With, with like a demon controlling it.
Right.
So that's fun. And then, because I love number ones, because I don't get out much and they explain everything to me, Nowhere Men number 1 from Image. This series is fun, has a lot of potential. It's kind of like a whole thing where like futuristic, innovative scientists create this big corporation, and 2 of them are trying to save humanity, but one of them's like going all evil and experimenting on people and like creating like, you know, monsters and like crimes against humanity. And that, and there's a bunch of astronauts stuck on a space station with a brand new disease, and it's all tied in together somehow. I don't know, lots of information, and it's definitely going to be going places. The art is also very sharp, crisp.
That reminds me of Hawkeye. Hawkeye, we all know I like it and I'm following it. I would just like to say again, the artwork is awesome. The best word I would use to describe it is fresh. It's so this is Hawkeye when he's not being an Avenger. So he's the normal dude doing his dude-like things, and you know what? He's also like, you know, so good-hearted, and he's a crime fighter. So this is kind of like off-duty crap that he has to deal with. And a very important character is introduced in this issue. But something more important to talk about concerning Hawkeye this evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is to be announced from me right now that the writer, Matt Fraction, of this comic book will be doing a benefit where the issue number 7 is going to come out. It's coming out in January, and he is donating all of his profits and proceeds from issue 7 to Hurricane Sandy relief. So, in January, you're gonna get number 7 for the donation, but you should read them all because they are super great. Alright, you remember that. I'll remind you later. Don't worry about it. Read it. It's hot.
Help our soggy socked neighbors on the East Coast. Next, the final countdown to the end of Lock and Key. Lock and Key is quite fantastic.
Quite.
Something else that I've been following since the beginning and have been waiting for it to end because it will be awesome. Also very Lovecraftian, like a whole bunch of secret, darker forces at work behind the scenes, and the whole thing is leading up to the big opening of the Omega Door, which is, you know, has been this big mystery. The entire series, the art is some of my favorites in modern comics from everything that I've been reading. I've liked the art since the beginning, which always makes me want to commit to a story much more. Mm-hmm. So this is winding down. This is number 1 of 6 in the last miniseries. Mm-hmm. It even says right up here, 6 issues till it's all over. Plus it's wicked gory and awesome, and, you know, exploding heads and like knives to the face and fun stuff like that.
Okay, violence. Thor, God of Thunder. John talked about issue 1, was it last week? So I caught up and I read issue 1 and 2 today, and it is great. So he mentioned the God Slayer in the last issue. In this issue, you get to know the God's Butcher. That's God Butcher, I think is what they call him. And Thor realizes he's battled him before. And it's really creative because I'm thinking what they're going to do in every issue, I'm not sure, is they're showing like past, present, and future Thor and all of the entanglements of time, and he's the only god, so it gets a little out there, which is, it's like, good job guys for going there, because it's a little risky and a little confusing, but also baller. Congratulations.
That reminds me, last week, I would like to make a correction, last week I talked about the Marvel Now Incredible Hulk number 1, which was actually called Indestructible Hulk number 1, and I am ashamed of myself. Force of habit, that's been the name for 50 years, I apologize. New name, still awesome, still lots of things getting broken. Next, by the Hulk. Next, number 13, number 0. This book is really fun, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing more of it in the future and following it. The art is really cool, the art's really fun, and basically, post-apocalypse, everybody's a crazy mutated freak, and everything is dead, and number 13, this little boy right here, is wandering around looking for his father. And he might be a cyborg. And there's this whole other, crazy plot. Destroy the human race, save the human race. I don't know which to do. Plus, there's like just mutants and just weird stuff, and super fun. Lots of freakish cyborg things with too many eyes. And number 13, just starting. Read it. Enjoy it, I hope. Take my word for it, and then spend money on it.
Yep, spend money on comics and toys and fun apparel. By the way, I would just like to have a little shout out for Chris Daly, who writes a webcomic called Striptease. Check it out, because he sold me this shirt at Comic-Con, and it's my favorite shirt. Alright, Chris Daly. Okay, FF. Is it stand for Fantastic Four, or does it stand for...
Freaking phenomenal.
Freaking phenomenal. Future Foundation is what the Fantastic Four are working on, or have been working on, where they get little kid mutants and little kids with special powers and kids with like extreme abilities, which I'm sure Xavier's like, hello, I got a huge institution right here. But that's okay, because they're just trying to do their own little part for the community, I assume. Okay, so as John told you in Fantastic Four #1 from last week, they are going through a wonderful trip through space and time. And then, but if they're going, they need to have some people kind of babysit the kids that they've somewhat taken under their wing, like Xavier would never do. So there you go, Mr. Fantastic. Okay, so, okay, he's dying, but that's cool. So, okay, so this is the group they're getting together to take over the team. You get to know the kids a little. So it's supposed to be that the reads are gone for 4 minutes, but 4 minutes will last a year in our reality, and only 4 minutes in our reality, but a year in their reality. So this whole setup is like so they can babysit kids for 4 minutes, theoretically. But we all know Reed Richard screws things up all the time. I mean, did you read Marvel Zombies? So we'll see how that goes.
And then calamity ensues. Last one for this week's Why Don't You Love This Book Yet? Ooh, the new Conan that started in 2004. Conan, of course, being an old character created by Robert E. Howard, and of course played by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the films. Those lovely 80s movies. And there have been a ton of Conan stories and Conan comics. You can still find all the
Fat essentials.
All the old stuff is still out there from Dark Horse. But the new run, I mean, you can distinguish it pretty easily. Obviously, it doesn't look like it's from the 70s. The new run is fantastic. I think I've read like the first 9 of these or something. The art is wicked crisp, and it's basically like a throwback. They're paying homage to the wonderful work from the past, and revamping and making it modern, but at the same time trying not to change too much from the old stories. And if you don't know about Conan, basically instead of like a valiant, chivalrous, hero for the people, this and that, Conan is just kind of a big fun prick who likes to run around and drink and hang out with scantily clad women and rob the rich so that he can drink more and hang out with more women. And he always seems to encounter all this like weird supernatural like black magic stuff that he has to quell and crush, and lots of giant spiders and snakes and weird just voodoo that he is constantly thwarting. And the series is very, very fun. And I'm going to do this a 3rd time in a row. The art really is just super pretty, and it's a joy to read. Really is. I recommend the new Conans. Written by Kurt Busiek. Drawn by Carrie Nord.
Fabulous. Sounds great. Thank you again for joining Kiss My Comics. Okay guys, we need a little bit of help here. All the little buddies on Facebook. We need more likes. We need more subscribers.
Just fans.
Love us.
I have enough servants.
Bye.